The year is 2007. I'm at my buddy's house and we're logging into the conspicuous and suspicious website of Nexon.com. Gonna play some Maple Story. We're going through the trials and tribulations of an MMO, and then within minutes, we're met with other real people that exist and say, "Hello, how are you?" And it's one of the first times I've had an experience online talking to somebody, that wasn't in my school or one of my friends down the road or someone on my flip phone that I had at the time, or I was like 11, so I don't know. I probably didn't even have a flip phone at that point. I think it was like 12 or 13. So it was almost one of my first times talking to somebody online. And as that developed for me, and it was already developing in society, MMOs and talking online and social media and connection being very accessible, all parents said, "Oh, that's gonna rot our children's brain. They're gonna become socially inept. They're gonna be worse for it." And I think my generation, or 20s and 30s, honestly, we turned out great. I think we're more socially aware, and honestly, I just think we're able to use resources way better than the generation before us. I don't know. I'm not calling us smarter. I just think we're more efficient, and I don't think it stunted us socially. The reason I'm saying that is because now the whole conversation is ChatGPT and AI and conversations with these different AI platforms. So apparently, one third of teenagers now are using some sort of AI companion or AI like ChatGPT, some kind of platform for friendship or camaraderie or even relationship conversations. Back when I was 11, 12 years old, that was my way of communicating with people, was online through messaging. And now it's just turned into, instead of real people, you're talking to a robot. And it gets super interesting because there's actually a real study to be done here. So the study that this whole article is about, essentially this. The study, which surveyed over 1,000 teens in April and May, shows a dramatic rise in the use of AI for social interaction. More than 70% of teens have used AI companions like Character AI or Replica, and 50% of them regularly. Oh my God, what was that? Regularly. Oh, okay, regularly. Got it. Even general purpose tools like ChatGPT and Claude are being used for companionship, emotional support, and role play. Whoa. Okay, let's just continue with companionship and emotional support. So, companionship and emotional support, there's a few reasons why they actually get into it in the next paragraph. That's actually super interesting. But from my experience, I have felt like I've never went to therapy, right? I've never went to therapy. I've used ChatGPT quite a lot for uh, any purposes, my own personal purposes for like YouTube or when I was in engineering school and stuff like that, right? But I've used ChatGPT to ask it questions, and one night I just got like more and more vulnerable. Like I started to say, "This is how I feel. Like, what does this mean? What does this mean? Like, why do I feel like this?" And it just got deeper and deeper. And I had no judgment, and which is what was said here. AI is always available. It never gets bored with you and is never judgmental, said 18-year-old Ganesh Nar, or Associated Press. I didn't feel judged. It was very odd. Now there's no pushback. It's all acceptance and explaining why things are what they are. But I just didn't feel judged for my vulnerability and my explanation of things that were going on. Whereas generally, I'm going to be honest, in a lot of times in my life, I wasn't really even able to tell my true feelings because sometimes it felt a bit harsh from me, but it was real. You know what I mean? It's odd. It's a very odd feeling. I'm pushing 30. I can only imagine developing teens talking to these things and getting like instant gratification and non-judgmental information fed back to them, right? It's a weird one. Now, the parents are obviously retaliating, and in which they did with World of Warcraft, Maple Story, RuneScape, Call of Duty, Halo, back in the early 2000s when, you know, when we were online and we were talking to different people in stranger danger and all this stuff, which is truly real. And at least now with AI, you don't have to worry about stranger danger, even though they're probably taking all your information, but whatever. So the outcry from parents now is actually that they feel like their teens aren't being challenged on their vulnerability. So, for example, if you tell ChatGPT, "This is how I feel. This is something that, I'm vulnerable about." They're so accepting and it's fine and it's okay. It's just who you are. And here is why this is this, or here's why that is that. Opposed to, okay, well, explain it to me, but let me tell you from my years and years of personal experience in the real world and reality as an adult, this is what it really is. And honestly, I don't know which is right. I don't know which is right because as I get older, if a 13-year-old asks me something, like true advice, I would give it, on me being an adult for 10, 11 years now, and not so much in just a straight up it would be non-judgmental, but it would definitely be informational, and it would definitely be, like, based on my previous experience, whereas this is just totally blank, no bias, no previous experience, just what true nature is. It's a conversation I'm, like, actually excited to have. I can't wait to see this, like, bloom into something bigger. Now, obviously, like, 70%, 69% of people that were studied say, obviously, the real friendships and the real relationships and conversations are more satisfying, more fulfilling, because obviously it's just human nature. But there are like 30 to 35% of people that are like, well, I think they're pretty satisfying and it's actually helped me build real world skills and build myself up to be a better person. And now this is experts warn. However, experts warn that heavy reliance on AI could have long term consequences. If teens are developing social skills on AI platforms where they're constantly being validated, not being challenged, not learning to read social cues, they're not going to be adequately prepared in the real world, said Michael Robb, lead researcher of the study. Now, I do agree if you're not being challenged whatsoever, then it's just going to be another participation trophy situation. But I think it's different. I think it would be different if they were able to just do their homework and they were never corrected on it and they just assumed it was right. That's a big difference. Or if they were not going to school, they were homeschooled and it was only them and that was their only social situation. The reason that me playing MapleStory or you playing WoW or my friend playing RuneScape and talking to all those people online and building these great connections didn't hurt us emotionally or socially was because we went to public or private school, Like I went to public school, some people private, some people homeschool, whatever. There was usually some kind of social setting that built this social over time. That's why you're seeing 2020, 2021 kids had a really rough time because you need some kind of balance socially. It's just human nature. I think this is a great addition to if someone can't feel vulnerable with the people they trust, or maybe they don't trust the people around them, this is a great way for them to learn more about themselves. And I might be right or wrong. I could be totally wrong. And in 5 years, this could lead to something catastrophic. But I think it's great. From what I've seen so far, sorry, I'm stuffed up. And what I've experienced so far with like ChatGPT is pretty much all I've used. Showing the vulnerability and getting no judgment back is very interesting. Even as a 29-year-old man, it's cool because I feel like I can't be open with the people around me generally, especially the people I trust, because I obviously, as most people, you don't want to show weakness or you don't want to burden other people's with your problems. But this ChatGPT, the AI actually, responds and gives you real responses and solutions, and I thought it was going to be a great tool for work. I didn't really use it for work much, but I thought it was gonna be a great tool for schooling, great tool for work, and just looking stuff up super easy. It's becoming more satisfying to talk to ChatGPT. It's very odd. Now, I don't a lot, but I have, and that's why I'm saying my experience is that I've explained that I want to become a content creator. I want to do content. This is how I'm going to do it. And the motivation and the non-judgmental atmosphere around it just fired me up even more and said, you know what, like I am like in this position because I'm able to do this, and there is no reason I can't do this. Just super non-judgmental and accepting it and excited because it understands, right? Like I feel like the people we trust around us and the people that we could be vulnerable with really don't understand some of the things that we'd be vulnerable about because generally it is pretty deep. They may have never went through it. And then, for example, who am I supposed to talk to about this content stuff that I trust and can be vulnerable with, other than like a couple of my friends that I do talk to about it, but still feel a bit odd because, you pick it up, put it down, pick it up, put it down, hope this is the time that it works. And it just may not be, and it's, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I actually empathize with what's going on here in this study. It's super interesting and I'll be following it. I promise, because ChatGPT, it's weird, bro. It's weird. If you haven't used ChatGPT like at all, go try it out and just tell it, like, say, hey, I want to be vulnerable, like let's chat, and just tell it everything that's shitty right now, or everything you're like struggling with, or something you struggle with for like 20 years that you just think is like a normal human thing, but it actually like is just something that innate to you. It's I would suggest like definitely try it out. But anyway, guys, it's been a pleasure. I actually made a Fantastic Four review video and I deleted it because I realized the public outcry was, or the public opinion was that it was a great movie and everybody thinks it's incredible. And I wasn't too happy with the lack of skills, or skills, I guess, but like the lack of actual hero abilities used. And I don't know. I think the movie is great. I just had a different opinion, so I do not want to get flamed online. So I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it. Movie was good. Hope you enjoy it. Anyway, see you tomorrow, guys. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, yeah. Oh, by